So hey everybody, how you doing? This is Simba the Speaker again. So today I'm going to talk about, this is technically part 2 to my last video, how to start a remote cleaning business. Now the last video, I kind of got a little excited. So what I'm going to probably end up doing is naming that video, like the benefits of starting a remote cleaning business. But so with that being said, that video I was supposed to get into this video, but I got too excited. So now I'm actually just gonna go straight into it. As you can see, I actually started writing some stuff already, but I decided that I'm just gonna continue while recording this video, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so when starting a remote cleaning business, right? Remote cleaning business. What I was writing here real quick is niche, right? So you want to see what your niche is going to be. Is it going to be residential? Is it going to be commercial? Is it going to be Airbnb? Right? And after you pick out what your niche is going to be, what you want to do is research the competition. So you want to kind of figure out what is pricing like, right? How long does it take to get a cleaning done? What are some of the services they offer? How does their website look? How many reviews do they have? You just want to search the competition. It's really cool, or a good thing to do is to give them a call and act like you're booking a service, right? Just kind of get the pricing, see some of the keywords that they say, maybe ask some questions that you would get in terms of if you were getting some, what do we like to call it? We'll say oppositional questions, right? Or that's not the right word for it. For lack of better terms, we'll say pushback, right? When I remember the word, I'm gonna actually put that in. But let's say questions that you would get in terms of pushback, or maybe why a client wouldn't buy, right? You want to think of those questions and even ask them and see how they answer it. So boom, right? So we picked out our niche. We got our niche here, all right? And then from there, we also researched the competition. Now we want to go into the legal setup, right? So we want to get that LLC with the state, right? And the cool thing about that is you can get the LLC with the state you reside in, or you can get it with the state that you want the cleaning business to be in, right? So just because you get a cleaning business, just because you open up the LLC in Florida doesn't mean that you can't run the business in Arizona and vice versa. So you just want to file it with the state. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get those articles back, right? So those articles of incorporation, you want to get those back. Once you get those back, you want to then open up that EIN. So if I'm correct, you need those articles to be able to open up the EIN. The EIN allows you to open up the business bank account. Now, this is something that you guys will probably hear. I'm not going to take too long on it, but you always want to separate the personal business, especially when it comes to getting ready to pay for your taxes or with business taxes, because some of this stuff you can write off, but it has to be in a business name, right? And another thing I want to add into it, I talked about this, I think, in the last video, but you want to get more than one account. You really need to read profit. Let me write this down. Profits first book. Perfect. The line went over, but you really want to read this book, right? You want to read this book. Actually, this is going to bother me. It is going to bother me. Nice. You want to read this book. It's crucial that you read this book because this book is going to talk about the multiple accounts that you need to open up to be financially organized. We talked about you have your expense account where money will come out for expenses, owners pay profit, saving, taxes. So that is going to be important. So you're going to need that EIN to be able to open up these business bank accounts in general, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to get that LLC. You want to get that business bank account. After we've done that, right? After we've opened up the LLC, and then we created our EIN, and we got in our business bank account. Now we want to start kind of getting to what I like to call the tech side, right? So these are the main things you're going to want to focus on getting. You're going to need an email. And you're kind of going to want to get this before you actually, because you're going to want an email to be able to send everything to. If you want, you can send it to your personal email, but you're going to want at least some type of business email, right? So let me clarify on that right there. So what you're going to want is a biz email, right? This is where people can email you. You can use this and just maybe where you want the email for like anything cleaning business related to come to. So you're gonna want that business email. You're gonna want that phone number, right? You're gonna want a phone number. So you can use Google Voice for this, or you can use OpenPhone, which is another suggestion. And OpenPhone is one of the things that you're gonna actually end up paying for on a monthly basis. Strawberry vanilla Olipop is really good. So you're gonna want the Google Voice or the OpenPhone, which for the phone number, right? You're also gonna need a CRM, which is the customer relationship management system. How you're gonna book your clients, how you're gonna actually assign your cleaners. You're gonna want how you're gonna send automations in terms of like maybe follow up, text, confirmations. You're gonna want that CRM, right? And so that right there, you can use. Some people use ZenMaid, or another one is Booking Koala. Stay with me, y'all, and don't forget. You can screenshot this. However you want to do it. Right now, I'm just kind of writing in terms. I think as I make more videos, I'll get more organized with the writing. But right now, these are just notes that I just want you guys to have. So you're going to need that CRM, which is going to be ZenMaid or Booking Koala, right? So you're going to want to get that open. Now, if you want to go a step further, just to kind of be more on the safe side, maybe, this will help you organize better. For maybe accounting software, you want to go with QuickBooks. Now, is an accounting software needed? And not necessarily needed. Is it highly recommended? It is highly recommended because you want all your accounting to be up to date and organized. So accounting, we're going to do QuickBooks, right? We got our CRM. So let's look at how we have it, right? We have our business email and we have our phone number, right? We have a business email, we have our phone number. So people can contact us, right? And then let's say when people contact us and we need to book them, we can book them and we can assign a cleaner through ZenMaid or Booking Koala, right? So we have that, and then we have our accounting software. Let's say the money starts rolling in. How do we want to make sure that everything is organized and we're accounted for and everything's accounted for, right? So we can do that through QuickBooks, or we can do that manually through like Google Sheets or Excel sheets. It's just up to you, right? So it depends on what floats your boat. So here you can take a look at this. On just some stuff. Like I said, Profit First book is very important. And then like I said, the email, phone number. Honestly, you guys can pause the video and screenshot as you need. So we're just gonna keep going for the sake of time, right? So now we picked the niche. We opened up an LLC and the EIN. We got our business bank accounts. We got everything we need. Now we're kind of set up on the online side, right? With the online side, because technically with the middleman business, what you're doing is setting up an online storefront, right? So we have the email, the phone number, ZenMaid, Booking Koala. We have the QuickBooks as well. Something that you might want to do, right, next is actually kind of also set up. So I would say, we're going to say paid or unpaid ads, right? And with that being said, paid or unpaid advertisement, some of the unpaid ones in which I wanted to kind of mention, this is what I wanted to lead into. You're going to want to create a Google My Business profile. And the reason is, this is how this is like your online resume through Google, right? This is where people can see your reviews, hours of operation, phone number, or what else can they see? Location. So this is important because even when you're running paid ads, and we'll get to the one I'm referring to, they can click your profile even before they even make the call and see if they want to move forward with you, right? And Google My Business profile, I've gotten actually some very great leads of Google My Business profile, especially because of the reviews that they've seen, right? So we want to set up that online presence as well with the Google My Business profile. If you want as well, you can you can do Yelp as well. Yelp does have ads, but you can set it up for Yelp as well. And then you can probably go into Facebook groups. Now, you can't really set a profile, but Facebook groups, you can kind of sit there and talk to people, introduce yourself to see who needs some cleaning. in general, right? So we got that because now we're kind of talking to, even though this is online presence, now we're kind of referring to kind of like client acquisition because these are the ways clients are going to get to you, right? So now that we sit on that online storefront, I didn't want to just still add a Google My Business profile because it is like an online storefront, and we're talking about unpaid ways to get clients, right? We got Facebook group, Yelp, we got the Google My Business profile. Let's also look at the paid ways, right? These are the paid ways to a client. To acquire clients. So from there, we got Google LSA, which is the one I was talking about in terms of they can also click your profile to see your Google My Business. Google LSA is really good. So the other ones you have, LSA stands for Google Local Service Ads. LSA stands for Google Local Service Ads, right? And then from there, you got another one, Thumbtack, in which I'm not really a big fan of, but it is, some people do see success with it, especially if you stay consistent. And then Yelp even has their own ads as well, right? So you can pay with Yelp, Google LSA, which is local service ads, or even Thumbtack. So you got that going, right? And this is kind of just the general general instructions on how to build one. There's some things we can go into deeper. For example, when we talk about client acquisitions, we can talk about what does your script look like, right? How do you have an efficient script that will allow you to efficiently and effectively acquire clients? But for the sake of time, what I want to do is just kind of go into the skeleton of how to build one, right? So now we got our paid platforms, unpaid platforms. We have a way we can take the booking. We have our business structure that's good. We know what our niche is, right? So from there, once you have that, you can actually, before going into that, right? Before going into what I was about to say, I am going to add this, right? So you have your unpaid and paid ways. Another thing I want to add, though, when you're building is what I would like to call subcontractors. We're going to talk about subcontractors, independent contractors. Now, technically, before taking a booking, you want to build relationships. You want to contact them, build relationships, because these are the people that you're going to assign to the cleanings, right? You'll be assigning these people to the cleaning. So technically, but you're still going to want to make your Google My Business profile, but technically what you're going to want to do is before you really run any paid ads, you're going to want to you're going to want to build relationships with subcontractors and independent contractors. Because even when you're running ads, you're going to need cleaners to send to these clients that you end up booking. Strawberry vanilla flavor is really good. So you're going to want to obviously build relationship with subcontractor and independent contractors. Contact them to build relationship, assign them to cleaners. So technically you can do this. You can technically do this after you set up your unpaid and paid ads. But it is smarter to have these people in your connections or in your network before you even before you close a client. So by the time you close them, bada boom, bada bing, you can assign a cleaner to it. Business loves speed. Let me add that. Business loves speed. So the reason I add that, man, my lines are so horrible, man. I'm going to get better with this over time. You get it. Business loves speed. Actually, no. It's going to bother me, guys. I'm sorry. I'll take that. Business loves speed. Why do I say that? I added that in because it would be better for you to, if you can, you have more chance of closing a client if you tell a client, hey, we can come to you tomorrow, versus if you tell a client, well, it's Monday, we can probably get to you Thursday or Friday. They're going to find someone that can get to them before that. So business loves speed. So if you can already have your contractors, your subcontractors, and independent contractors in your book of your network or your book of service providers, you'll be able to probably close a client and then assign them the next day. Because all you're going to do is contact your book of subcontractors or independent contractors and just see who can take the booking. Versus if you were to close the client and now I have to sit there and find the contractor, and what if I close the client, pretty late in the day, right? Because now I have to figure out who can I send over. And so business loves speed. And not to say that you can't find a cleaner within the same day. You can, but that's not scalable, right? That you can't scale that. That's just a lot going on, and it's not efficient versus already having the subcontractors and independent contractors ready to go, and all you have to do is pretty much contact them for a booking, right? And then so from there, like I said, you want to get subcontractors, independent contractors, even if you can find some cleanings as well. And what you're gonna obviously do with the cleaners, right, is with your subcontractors. I don't need to add them, but with your subcontractor, independent contractors, what you would want to do, in all honesty, and this is why I say you may want to do this before actually even taking any bookings, you're going to want to run test cleanings. You're going to want to vet them, actually. Let's say that, right? You're going to want to vet the cleaners, vet the contractors. And so what does that look like? Zoom, face-to-face, introductions. Granted, they're not necessary, but they do help. I've worked with independent contractors, which I vet them by doing a face-to-face, or I've just seen their portfolio and know that they're really good. It just depends on, what your preference is. But always remember, subcontractor, independent contractor, cleaners, they are the brand of your business. And what I mean by that is if they don't do well, it will show on your brand. People will not refer you. They will leave you a bad review. So, and I say this all the time, this here is the most important part in my opinion. You can create a good logo, good LLC, great phone number, great service, great inquiry calls, great whatever. You can have a great follow-up service. If your cleaners suck, it will not matter. I repeat, it will not matter. So in general, if you can, and everybody should vet your cleaners. What does that look like? Zoom, face-to-face introduction. After we do that, you can do background checks. These cost, but it costs to be the boss. You want to make sure that you're sending people that have clean background checks and haven't done anything crazy, have a pattern of stealing or theft or whatever, or violence in their background. After we do background checks, you want to do test cleaning. We need to see how they clean. We want a test cleaning. We can do the test cleaning at a family house. We could do it at a friend's house. We can do it at your own home. If you stay by yourself, if you live by yourself. And I usually like to pay for them. I personally like to pay for them only because they're still using their time to get the job done. So usually, for example, if you do training or if you do training with a company, like your company still, pays for your time, like doing training. So I just think ethically you should pay for them. But yes, and you want to do test cleaning. So once you've done the test cleaning and we've confirmed that everything checks out, then we can assign them over. Then we can assign them over to a cleaner. So right there, that's pretty much the body of how to build a remote cleaning company. It's not crazy because all you're doing is becoming like when you're becoming a middleman. You just have to have your online storefront set up good enough that clients feel comfortable using your service. And usually, if you have a good logo, a good name, phone number, email, reviews, pictures, they'll trust you. Someone will take a chance on you. You'll get your first client somewhere, right? So sometimes all it starts is with that first client and everything goes up from there. So we have that right there, right? So that's pretty much the framework of having to build one. Now I'm gonna try to, if I can, I'm gonna try to every here and there give like a bonus tip, right? So this would be my bonus tip box. I'm gonna make a quick bonus tip box actually. I'm gonna make a quick bonus tip box. So my quick bonus tip. So when it comes to scaling, right? So now we know how to actually build this business. When it comes to scaling, man, I will tell you, reoccurring clients are gonna be major. Are gonna be major when it comes to scaling. Sorry. Important to scaling. Why do I bring that up? You start to learn that the real money, especially profit wise, the real money, you can make money off one time bookings. Like I said, you charge your price, you add your profit to the price, so by the time you pay the cleaner what you're be left over with, and that'll be your profit, right? Now that profit is what you use to pay for certain expenses, and we can get into that in other videos. But the real money is in reoccurring clients. Now I want to mention something, right? When a buyer is buying a business is way more valuable when it can show that it has reoccurring revenue and reoccurring profit. And that's something I'll talk about in future videos. So this is my bonus tip. When you're building your business and you're dealing with clients, focus on follow-ups and getting the clients on a reoccurring schedule. Now, this is something that's another bonus tip. The reoccurring schedule or getting them reoccurring doesn't necessarily have to be a schedule for them. It could be as simple as just getting them on the calendar again. You have reoccurring where a client says, hey, come every 2 weeks, come every 1 week. It's on a schedule, we're good, right? And you may have some clients where you may have to actively say, hey, do you want to get on the calendar next month? Maybe give a discount. So you want to push that. You want to push reoccurring. You're going to get those, trust me, you're going to get those clients that are going to say, hey, put me on a schedule. You're going to get those without a doubt come. But what you also want to push for is for those that don't say put me on a schedule, how can we get them on the calendar next month? Does it mean that we need to maybe offer a discount to them? Or do we just simply ask them based off how well the service went, how well the cleaning went? So that's my bonus tip. I wanted to make this quick. Like I said, I'm trying to add this in the first video. I got too excited. And I started talking about, too passionate maybe. I started just talking about the benefits of the business. But this is pretty much how you kind of build that business, the remote cleaning business. You're going to find that niche, research your competition. Once you do that, create the LLC. Within whatever state you're choosing to create it, get the EIN so you can get the business bank account. Another little bonus tip here, read that Profit First book to let you know what accounts you need. You're going to get the email, the phone number, right? You're going to get the CRM and the QuickBooks for accounting if you can afford it. If not, no worries, Google Sheet or Excel will work. From there, we have, like I said, we have this way. Obviously, you want to build your network with subcontractors and independent contractors, just so you have that network of people you're working with to assign them. Some people like to do it vice versa. Some people don't want to get cleaners till they have appointments. It's up to you. Personally, I would say even if you could just get 1 to 2, if you could just get 1 to 2 contractors or cleaners that you can use for appointments, that would be perfect. You don't need a lot in the beginning until things start picking up. So you want to get those subcontractors, independent contractors. You want to vet them out, Zoom, face-to-face, background check. We'll do test cleanings. Let's see how they clean. And from there, you want to run your unpaid ads. Technically, you want to set up your Google My Business profile just so people can find you. You can even add some SEO to your website as well. And then you want to also focus on your paid way, which is the Google LSA, your Thumbtack, and your Yelp. But that is it right there. So, like I said, I'm going to make videos every Tuesday and Thursday. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I'm going to try to give you as much game as possible. You know, I may not, like I said, I may not have the best theatrics with the edits, but what you're gonna get from me is real game, right? What you're gonna get from me is real information and straightforward, and I'm gonna be writing and talking to you about that as well. But yes. So that's how you would open up a remote cleaning business. Technically, I just want to add in as well, technically that's how you would start any remote home serving business, right? You're going to obviously pick your niche, search up the competition, and then create the business. And from there, the independent contractors and subcontractors would just be the service provider for that actual service that you're offering. But yeah, so this was a great video. I think a really good video. Thumbs up if you found value in the video. Don't forget to comment as well. Ask questions, please. Like, the best type of value I can give is based off what you guys want. What do you want to know more about, right? Whether that's mindset or just simply being scared to start. The more comments, the more questions, the more I can know what to give you guys. But yeah, so I'm not gonna waste your time. That's it. We are getting ready to head out. Once again, I am Simba the Speaker. I'm helping you. I'm your guide to cleaning business success. And, you know, I want to see everybody win, you know, depending on how that is for you. Maybe you're just looking for an extra $1,000, and maybe you want to go full-time with this, quit your job and make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. I'll be here to, you know, help you and get it going. What I'm also going to do is, if you need any one-on-ones, I'll be adding my one-on-one calendar link, so you can set that appointment and go straight to my email, and we can get you going and just maybe see like where your progress is. Maybe you already started and you just want to make more progress. You know, we'll help you out with that as well. But beyond that, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.